What's up, everybody? Back here again today with some new material here. Today's main video, we will be reviewing and going through the WrestleMania 5 program. Um, but I got a new figure pickup. I just wanted to share real quick. You've seen these. They've been dropping the last few years. This is my first pickup. I never really got one. But I'll be meeting this gentleman real soon. And I just really needed something new for him to sign because the last signing I was at, he signed most of my stuff. So I just figured I'd go ahead and pick it up. If you haven't seen these yet, these are the ones in this set. We got Taker, Papa Shango, DiBiase, Mankind, Voodoo Curse Beware, Papa Shango. The spell has been put on you. This is Series 3. So, yeah, man. Just wanted to share that. Nothing too spectacular. I actually liked the Papa Shango gimmick. Most people didn't, but I was always a fan of it. I'm a fan of him. Been watching him wrestle when he was in USWA before he was just a Soul Taker then when I was a kid. But nice pickup. If you need something new for Charles Wright to sign, go get you one. All right, now let's get into what we came for here today. WrestleMania 5. You know I'm a fan of this event. If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, I have this poster. I get signed all the time. But this is the actual program. I just bought this. I got a deal on this on eBay a few months back. I haven't had this very long. And I really haven't looked through it. So I'm kind of gonna. If you haven't ever looked through it before, I'm with you. I maybe looked through it when I first bought it, but that's about it. So we're gonna hop on in here. This is one of my favorite WrestleManias. This was the first WrestleMania that I watched from like the end of the Survivor Series, '88, all the way to the build up to WrestleMania 5. So this one I always liked. I know there's matches on there that are pointless, and if you haven't yet, go watch Bruce Pritchard's podcast. They did an excellent job on this event. All right, WrestleMania 5, the Mega Powers explode. This is one of my favorite feuds that Hogan had. Sunday, April 2nd, 1989. We got Run DMC. They would do the WrestleMania rap. Brother Love and Piper. Downey Jr. Unforgettable moment there in WrestleMania with them three. All right. Hulkamania versus Macho Madness. This match was pretty good. I watched it. I had this on video cassette. I should have broke it out for you. You know what? The next program that I do, I'll break it out and show it to you. How rough shape it's in. We knew the Mega Powers, the whole angle. It's been talked about and talked about and talked about. One of the best feuds of that time. It was the first big feud that I remember Hogan having. It was just my time. That's when I came up, and I loved it. I loved this event. Savage is actually wrestling with a staph infection, as we learned. Hogan would beat Savage, even though Savage was selling out house shows as Hill champion. So I'm not sure, but yeah, Hogan would end up winning the belt after that. So great main event. Here it kind of shows the lead up of everything. All right. We have the Intercontinental title match, Ultimate Warrior versus Ravishing Rick Rude. This is where Rick Rude would beat Warrior, of course, with help from Bobby Heenan. This is where Warrior would really hurt Bobby Heenan. And he would have to have back surgery or neck surgery 1 years later. Warrior hurt a lot of people. And sometimes I feel bad for ravishing Rick Rude having to deal with Warrior that long. But this wasn't a bad match, in my opinion. We have Demolition versus Powers of Pain and Mr. Fuji. This is the lead up from Survivor Series 88. And I didn't show you this the other day. There's the Axe Demolition autograph that I got. But I like this time period. This is when Demolition was on fire. And if anybody wants to talk about Road Warrior ripoffs, get it together. But I like the angle. The match is what it was. Fun time in wrestling. We have Jake Roberts versus Andre the Giant. Sorry about that. Not the best match in the world. Andre was on his last leg. We had Big John Studd as the guest referee. Can't really think of anything interesting about that match at all, other than Andre didn't like working with Jake. But that was the whole angle where Andre was terrified of snakes. We have Red Rooster versus Bobby Heenan. Why? But the build-up for this was pretty serious, man. Remember on Primetime, Gorilla Monsoon got hit with a stool and everything. Hercules versus King Haku. I believe that's the opening match on that event. I wasn't a fan of Hercules as a good guy. The Rockers versus the Twin Towers. If you go back, I always like this match, but if you go back and watch it, this is a damn good match. The Twin Towers win. Shawn Michaels is. There's always that myth that he was hammered or hung over from the night before during that match. You're supposed to go look at the promo before the match or something. I don't know. I never really looked into it. Good times. The Bushwhackers versus the Fabulous Rougeau Brothers. It was one of the only few big time events I've seen the Bushwhackers win. Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus Bad News Brown. This is the match where Duggan's got like snot all over his face. It's about the only thing I remember from the match. Rugged Ronnie Garvin versus Dino Bravo. Nothing to talk about there. Hart Foundation versus Greg the Hammer Valentine, the Honky Tonk Man, which would have ended up being Rhythm and Blues. They had a different name for them at this time, but I can't remember. Just good stuff. Hart Foundation would win that one. I think they might have a little bit of heat. They don't seem like they were talking in Chillicothe. Blue Blazer versus Mr. Perfect. This is one of my favorite matches on the whole card. It's very underrated, very good. This is the event where most guys almost fall down the steps. And this is where Mr. Perfect would debut that neon singlet that he wears. Strike Force versus the Brainbusters. Yeah, this is where Rick Martel turns on Tito. Good stuff. He would then become the model. The $1 Million Man versus Brutus Beefcake. I loved the build-up of this feud, but the match just wasn't nothing to brag about. And DiBiase goes from being in the main event from a year earlier to just wrestling Brutus Beefcake. And that's it on that. WrestleMania 5, the Mega Powers explode. And then there's an ad for Trump Plaza. So there you have it, WrestleMania 5. Look at that program. Hope you guys enjoyed it. My last WrestleMania program will do 8. It's an authentic. I've had it since I was 9 years old. It's the only WrestleMania I've still been to. We'll do that one next. But yeah, man, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.